Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a good Friday, and we finally saw our first snowfall of the season in Denver. This is what we've really been needing, just moisture, snowfall. We were just 4 days shy of tying the all-time latest snowfall on record for Denver, measurable snowfall on record, that is, which was November 21st. And yeah, we recorded 1.7 inches of snow at DIA yesterday, and this is just a CocoRa's um, map of what people measured and recorded. This is since 7 a.m. this morning. So 7 a.m. this morning to 7 a.m. yesterday morning. And yeah, as you can see, just widespread 1.5 to 4 inches throughout the Denver metro. Some higher totals as you get down into Douglas County and Arapahoe County, which is expected. I myself in Parker measured 3.3 inches last night, my official measurement. So definitely that was welcome. Good for the plants. We really do need the moisture, and also the chilly air was nice too. This is observations from Denver. We actually only got up to 32 degrees Fahrenheit for a high today. It's 10,000 was our 6-hour maximum. This is read out in degrees Celsius, so 32 Fahrenheit equals 0 degrees Celsius. That's actually, let's see, 18 degrees below our average high. So it's nice to finally see some below average temperatures, which is very different from what we've been seeing the past month or two, really is what it seems like. And yeah, visible satellite picture, you could really just see the snow cover over northeastern Colorado this morning. You can actually see some of that melt over the state, and we'll continue to melt some of that away into tomorrow. So I guess part of the reason why we didn't get very warm today was all that snow cover. So what happens is when we see radiation from the sun, a lot of that goes into doing work into melting the snow. So we have two types of essentially heat fluxes, what we call latent heat flux and sensible heat flux. And sensible heat flux is really what we feel as the temperature. So when you have a greater sensible heat flux, you generally see higher temperatures. But in this case, more of our energy was used to melt away the snow, so that's why we managed to stay relatively cool, as well as the northerly winds and the post-frontal air mass that we're currently experiencing. Current temperatures across northeastern Colorado, you can see 20s, 30 degrees, I believe that's at Broomfield or Boulder, one of them, up against the foothills, but just another chilly night in store for us. We'll probably get down to the teens. Coolest temperatures we've seen so far this season, aside from last night, so a big change, especially from what we've seen so far this month and earlier this week. Infrared satellite picture, you can see our storm that gave us the snow yesterday. It's pushing across parts of the upper Midwest at this hour, bringing them actually some severe weather. Blizzard conditions earlier today across the Dakotas and into Minnesota and Wisconsin. Just a lot of blowing, drifting snow, making for really, really just treacherous travel. And some severe storms across mainly Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, even into Ohio, bringing some damaging winds. Talk about that in just a second here. And you can also see the specific storm starting to slam into Washington, Oregon at this time, and bringing them some rain and some strong winds. Current radar picture, this is just across the Midwest. You can see that what we call line echo wave pattern, which is kind of seems to be breaking apart as it moves into Michigan and Ohio, but what that is just a line made up of multiple bow echoes, or bowing segments is what we call them. It's signature of just damaging winds, and you can see just looking at 850 millibar winds here, you can see they're just pretty strong. We're talking 40, 45, 50 knots, 850 millibars. So what happens when you get thunderstorms is a lot of that wind and momentum gets mixed down to the surface, and you can sometimes see some strong and damaging winds. Looking at just instability, we'll just look at mixed layer, Cape, really nothing. Surface space as well, really nothing. So these thunderstorms are elevated and not much of a tornado threat with these, mostly just a damaging wind threat, and definitely some very heavy rain ahead of the front in the warm sector. Behind the front, there's chilly, and this is just the 0Z sounding from Detroit, which was taken ahead of the front at the time, 66 degrees at the surface, so 54 degree dew point. That's obviously very moist, but you can see that really not much instability to work with, or CAPE is what we call it, convective available potential energy. But you can see just very strong winds close to the ground, 850 millibars. We're talking 40 knots, and obviously a lot of wind shear or change in wind speed and direction with height. Mostly change in wind speed with height in this case. Yeah, so severe storms across much of the Midwest, just mostly damaging winds. Maybe some hail mixed in there as well. And just looking at the GFS, this is the 12Z. I don't want to wait for the 0Z run to come out because it's my Friday night. But yeah, you can see the bulk of that upper level low is pushing through parts of the upper Midwest at this time. And we'll see ridging build in behind it across parts of the west. That will warm us up a little bit more tomorrow. We might see seasonal highs, so around 50 degrees tomorrow, but pretty dry day overall, and across northeastern Colorado. And into Sunday, we'll warm up even further as the ridge continues to build and push in further east. You can see those heights build into Sunday, and the ridge kind of becomes more established over the western half of the country in the Great Plains. So that will allow things to warm up. Probably still see temperatures 60, 65 degrees under this ridge. So another day of above average temperatures for the books. It's amazing how quickly things can shift in Colorado. And yeah, see this trough eventually lift off, push it into Colorado sometime into the Monday night, Tuesday morning time frame. That could bring us another shot of some snow, even some rain, which is remarkable for us this late in the season, but it can happen. It doesn't look too chilly with this, but of course this will have to be monitored as it is still a few days out. So more details on that. I guess in a couple of days I'll try and do another update. But yeah, just going to keep fast forwarding here. You can see ridging kind of builds back in midweek, and then looks like a larger shift towards the pattern, a cooler pattern towards the end of the month. So that is certainly welcome. Hopefully that'll bring us some moisture. This obviously not going to worry about specifics at this point, but this setup right here would probably bring us quite a bit of snow. Low becoming closed off southeastern corner of the state, so definitely favorable for us for at least much cooler weather. Snow, I won't talk about that quite yet. So have a good Friday night, enjoy your weekend, and hopefully I'll do another one of these soon.